to the Olivet Center at Pat Quigley Court, host of tonight's Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference matchup between the visiting Tigers of Olivet Nazarene and your St. Francis Fighting Saints. At this time, we ask that you please rise and kindly remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. At this time, let's introduce tonight's starting lineups first for the visiting Tigers. First up, a junior defensive specialist, number 2, Aston Casey. A freshman right side, number 3, Skylar Dorsey. A sophomore defensive specialist, number 11, Natalie Wall. A junior outside hitter, number 12, Naomi Money. Number 13, Ava Dorsey. A sophomore outside hitter, number 16, Emma Edmonds. And the libero was sophomore, number 4, Brianna Lamy. Head coach of the Tigers, Jake Oslo. And now the starting lineup for your Fighting Saints. First up, a freshman outside hitter from Joliet, Illinois, number 3, a senior outside hitter from Joliet, Illinois, the captain, number 13, Riley Hogan. A freshman middle hitter from Joliet, Illinois, number 15, Delaney Kirsten. A sophomore center from Locina, Illinois, number 16, Alyssa Tesco. Freshman defensive specialist from Joliet, Illinois, number 18, Maya Broadway. And a senior middle hitter from Riverside, Illinois, number 19, Cadence Lemich. And the libero is sophomore from Frankfort, Illinois, number 4, Annie Simon. The Fighting Saints are coached by Karen Hillier and her 20-year-old team.
Good evening from Joliet, Illinois, and the campus of the University of St. Francis. Inside the Sullivan Center, it's the Fighting Saints of St. Francis taking on Olivet Nazarene, the Tigers, in today's CCAC Volleyball finale. The Saints come in a second-place tie with St. Xavier, 13-4 in conference play this year, trying for the number 2 seed in the CCAC tournament, which opens up next week. They will clinch that with a victory today. Olivet has a winning record in conference as well, 9-8 overall, struggled in the non-conference season. So they have just an 11-20 overall record, but they've gotten some good results lately, winners of 3 of their last 4. And they take on a St. Francis team today that's looking for a season sweep. These two met up a little over a month ago in Bourbonnais. St. Francis took that contest in 4 sets. I'm Terry Bonadonna on the call for today's game, and we're ready to get it underway. St. Francis on the right in brown serves first. Olivet is on the left in white, and Maya Broadway sends the first ball away. First point goes to the Tigers on a big hit from Naomi Monihori. Top player on the team this year for Olivet Nazarene. Leading scorer, transfer from Calumet, and a big swing from her for the first point of the night. Here's the serve from Skylar Dorsey of the Tigers. Sent back the other way by Riley Hungate. Another big swing and a strong finish from Naomi Monihori. She averages better than 3 kills per contest, and we're seeing why early on. Really impressive start for her. First 2 points of the game go to Monihori. Teskey sets for no one. Nobody there on a soft set from Alyssa Teskey. And the mistake from St. Francis gives Olivet Nazarene a 3-0 lead. Right out of the gate. Strong start for the visitors. This time a set from Teskey for Morris. Malaya Morris taps it over. Monihori, this time deflected by the blockers. Touched at the net again by St. Francis. Here's Hungate to the back line and over the back line. So after back-to-back kills from Monihori, back-to-back errors committed by the Fighting Saints, and just like that, it's a 4-0 Olivet Nazarene lead. Serve is away from Skylar Dorsey. Good block by the Fighting Saints. Play stays alive. To the back corner and down. Diving effort from Natalie Wall comes up short for Olivet, and the Fighting Saints are on the board for the first time. Starters in today's game for the Saints: Malaya Morris, Riley Hungate, Delaney Kirstein, Alyssa Teskey, Maya Broadway, and Cadence Woodrich. Their libero is Ann Simon, and Simon sends away her first serve. Monihori from the right side this time. Sent back the other way. Riley Hungate has the kill. Touched out of bounds by Olivet Nazarene. Hungate had an attacking error earlier, but the Fighting Saints' leading scorer now has her first point of the day. Hungate came in averaging 3.2 kills per set. 60 more points this year than any other Fighting Saint. Here's Monihori, another big hit, and drops it right in front of Maya Broadway. Olivet leads 5-2. Starters for the Tigers today include Aston Casey, Skylar Dorsey, Natalie Wall, Naomi Monihori, Ayla Dorsey, and Emma Edmonds. Brianna Lamy is the libero. Serve belongs to the star junior Monihori, who's off to a great start today. Already 3 kills. Nice play by Lamy from her knees. Hit over and on to the back line. A kill for Bryn Nikenchuk on a ball that the Saints let go, hoping that it would drift a little bit too far. It didn't. Set at the net, knocked over by Delaney Kirstein. There's a pass from Broadway to Riley Hungate. Hungate down to the corner and deflected up into the air, still alive. Hungate, the back line, Monihori. Tapped out of bounds by Bryn Nikenchuk, and that's a point to the Fighting Saints. A good rally. And St. Francis comes out on top on the attacking error against Olivet Nazarene. Tigers got off to the hot start, scoring the first 4 points. But St. Francis has straightened things out since then, and they trail by only 3. That's out of bounds, but it was tipped by the Fighting Saints. So Olivet is back on the board. Serves away from Ayla Dorsey. Teskey finds a soft spot on the defense. Nice hit by Alyssa Teskey. The sophomore has her first kill of the night. Teskey's been playing at a high level of late. Second on the team in kills this year, averaging 2.5 per set. And another point for St. Francis. This is just on the setup. Serve was barely out of the hands of Riley Hungate. Olivet whistled for their placement down the floor. Just a 2-point game. This time, a real serve from Hungate. Played back by Nikenchuk, and that was deflected out of bounds by the Saints, tipped at the net. So a kill for Nikenchuk. Her second kill in a row for Olivet. She's been very active these last few minutes. And Tigers get the serve ahead by 3. Set by Talia Masana. Emma Rodriguez hits it over. At the net, a nice block by Delaney Kirstein. And Kirstein pulls the Saints back within 2. Kirstein is a freshman from Joliet Catholic Academy. One of a number of very impressive freshmen on this team. Kirstein sends the serve away. Out of bounds on the attack by Nikenchuk. That time not tipped at the net. So Nikenchuk's been on an interesting run. A couple of good kills, but a couple of attacking errors during this stretch as well. The Saints are as close as they've been since it was 1-0. And now they're as close as they've been since we begun. An ace for Delaney Kirstein, and we're tied at 8. Serve is away from Kirstein. Big hit by Nikenchuk, and into the antenna from Kirstein. Kirstein was able to receive that ball, but it ended up drifting into the antenna. So a nice effort, but a big hit from Nikenchuk, who has been pretty good at the net. 3 kills now. Olivet back in front. They haven't trailed in this opener. Masana sets for Emma Rodriguez, another of those impressive freshmen. Moni Hori touched at the net. Here's Rodriguez, deflected right back. Good play at the net from Cadence Woodrich. There's a block. Right back to Natalie Wall. Teskey gets it over the blockers and down. Good hit by Alyssa Teskey. We're tied once again. Malaya Morris comes back in for St. Francis. A freshman who got the start today. Serve goes from Teskey. Blocked by the Saints. Cadence Woodrich. Malaya Morris was at the net with her. And the Fighting Saints have their first lead tonight, 10-9 in the opening set. They've trailed by as many as 4 points early on. But now trying to extend their lead. And they do. It's an ace for Alyssa Teskey. Since that 4-0 start, the Saints have outscored the Tigers 11-5, so more than doubling them up. Teskey serves again. Out of bounds. Good play by Natalie Wall. Watching it the whole way, she saw it was not going to get the line. And following the ace from Teskey, a service error. Ball goes back to Olivet Nazarene and their libero, Brianna Lamy. To the back row, and Ann Simon, Cadence Woodrich, too tall. And we're knotted up at 11. Good bounce back from Olivet. Teskey for Woodrich, and this time Cadence Woodrich drops it in. An assist for Alyssa Teskey. Cadence Woodrich has her first kill. Second point of the game for Woodrich. Saints in front, looking to pass the halfway point. And I think we got Olivet with a double hit. Or do they go into the net? It's a point for St. Francis, 13-11. Diving play and out of bounds off the hands of Aston Casey. And another ace for St. Francis as they take their biggest lead at 3. Moni Hori is deflected at the net. Teskey for Hungate. Got it. Off the hand of the diving Natalie Wall. It's a kill for Riley Hungate. The Saints are on a roll. They've scored 4 straight points. And Olivet calls a timeout. Their third-year head coach, Jake Ostema, brings the team off to the sideline to try to recapture the momentum. They started so strong, but it's been all Fighting Saints recently. They have taken their biggest lead so far in this set, 15-11. And they've been playing really strong volleyball with just 1 attacking error so far, .263 hitting percentage. Alyssa Teskey leads the way. She's not only got 3 kills, she's also got an ace, 2 assists, and a couple of digs. So an all-around great start for Teskey. For Olivet, it was Moni Hori who got off to that strong start. She had kills on the first 2 rallies of the game and 3 of the first 4 points for Olivet Nazarene, and since then, not a whole lot. In 10 attacks tonight, she's still got just the 3 kills. Not as though she's playing poorly. But the Saints have managed her much better at the net. Out of bounds on the attack from Olivet. So out of the timeout, St. Francis stays on their roll. We were tied at 11. They've scored 5 straight points. Pretty impressive how he did that math. Serve from Broadway. Moni Hori, a strong hit out of the reach of Broadway. It was only a matter of time before she got going again. She's had some chances. She's had some good swings. The Saints have just defended her well. But that's her 4th kill of the night. It's a 4-point game. Broadway for Hungate. Coming back the other way. It's a good deflection at the net from Woodrich and Hungate. Hungate will try for the kill. It hung on top of the net. Saints are able to play it on their end. Into the net, and the Saints keep it alive. Great work by St. Francis. Their defense has been impeccable lately. Speaking of which, there's Maya Broadway with the dig. Moni Hori kept in the air by Saints, over from Hungate, but a double hit is called against Riley Hungate. Great rally there. The Saints kept it alive, but ultimately they go out on the double hit. Now their lead is down to 3. Still anybody's game here. A 2-point game as Olivet picks up another point. 14 serving 16. Close one here in the opening set. St. Francis trying to wrap up second place in the CCAC. Both of these teams are coming off of a loss in their most recent outing. Chased out of bounds by Teskey. Hit over by Woodrich. Into the nets on the hit from Ayla Dorsey. Mistimed the swing just a little bit, and the Saints will pay the dividends. And Simon, the libero in white today, gets the serve. Olivet able to recover. That is inbounds on the swing from Annalise Frieden. Close one from Frieden, but she just did get that end line. Keeps Olivet right there. That was a big point. Down by 3 at this stage of a set is always big. Getting this close to the end of it, there's a huge difference between being down 2 and being down 4. That swung into the net by Morris, so she came up a little bit short on her attack, and all of a sudden the Tigers are down by only 1 point. Serve from Moni Hori. And a kill from Delaney Kirstein. Saints maintain their lead. They trailed early in this set. Flipped the script around the halfway point and have now not trailed in a while. Serve is away from Talia Masana. Over the block, and a nice touch from Ayla Dorsey. Back to a 1-point game. Handled the blockers well there. It's Dorsey's turn to serve. Freshman out of Ottawa, Illinois. Downstate somewhere. Not too far from Bourbonnais. Pushed over by Teskey. Nice call by Broadway. Got Hungate back into the play. But a strong finish from Bryn Nykenchuk, and we are back to square one. 18 all. Timeout called by St. Francis. Olivet scored the first 4 points of the game. Fighting Saints bounced back from that. They went on a good run of their own. They have led by as many as 5, but Olivet has scored 7 of the last 9 points. And that has tied things up 18 all, so it's a race to 7 now between the Fighting Saints and the Tigers. St. Francis, as I've mentioned a few times already, is 13-4 in conference play. That's even with St. Xavier for first place, or second place rather, in the conference. Viterbo has already clinched the conference championship. They have been completely dominant all throughout this season. The V-Hawks haven't lost. 17-0 against CCAC opposition. So they will get the 1 seed in the tournament. They'll get a conference championship. And they have already locked up a spot in the national tournament as well. Two automatic bids from the CCAC into that national tournament. Viterbo's got one of them. The other will go to first place in the conference tournament, or second place if Viterbo wins it. First things first, let's get through this one. Passed by Masana to Hungate, and Hungate gets it through the block for another kill. Riley Hungate matches Alyssa Teskey with her team-high 3rd kill of the night. So the two of them have combined on 6 of the Fighting Saints' 8 in the opening set. Hungate serves with the right hand. That's deflected at the net and down off the hit from Annalise Frieden. Frieden ties the score at 19 on her second kill. Out of bounds on the serve from Frieden. Costly service error there. Very late in the opening set. St. Francis ahead by 1 point with the serve. It's Delaney Kirstein's turn. Awkward touch by Moni Hori, but Olivet is able to respond. Good chance for the Fighting Saints. Tigers get it back. Here's Masana for Teske. Out of bounds, off the deflection. A kill for Alyssa Teske. Timeout Olivet, their final timeout of the opening set. As their backs are up against the wall now, 21-19 is our score. St. Francis trying to open up a 1-0 lead. These two teams faced each other in late September. Saints won it in 4 sets. They were tight. All 4 sets were pretty tight. In particular, the first 3. Tigers are 4 games behind the Saints in the conference standings. They are battling for position in the conference tournament. They'll be there. But coming into today, they could be anywhere between the 5th and the 8th seed, which means there is a possibility that these two teams play each other again in the first round of the conference tournament. I don't know how, don't ask me, because there's so much still up for grabs. Here's what I know for sure. Viterbo is the conference champion, and Trinity Christian will have the 4 seed in that tournament. Beyond that, I got nothing for you. It'll all depend on the final results. Each team playing their final games of the conference season this week. In fact, almost all of them today. I'll get you some updates later if I can. Big one for the Saints is St. Xavier against Judson. This is the big one for the Saints. They've got a 2-point lead, looking to make it 3. Deflected at the net. Here's Teske. Pushed into the air by Dorsey. Nykenchuk sliced it out of bounds. Point St. Francis. And they have reclaimed a 3-point lead at a crucial time. This was tied 19-19. The Saints got 3 big points in a row. Let's see if they can make it 4 straight. They cannot. Nice hit by Emma Edmonds for the kill, keeping her team's hopes alive. Not that they would have been dead if she hadn't gotten that point. But 22-20 is a heck of a lot tighter than 23-19. And now the Tigers will try to regain some momentum going to the finish line. Masana for Woodrich, and Woodrich pulls the Saints ever closer to that 1-0 lead. Cadence Woodrich has had a nice opening set, 3 points for her. And it'll be Alyssa Teske's serve. Rodriguez. Woodrich tried for another one. This time the libero, Brianna Lamy, was able to play it. Punched over by Ann Simon. A chance for Moni Hori. It's blocked. Nice job by Dorsey. Rodriguez to the back row. Diving play by Natalie Wall. Malaya Morris, is able to finish it off. Set point for the Fighting Saints. They have been very composed in this opening set on the long rallies. Completely unflappable. Here's Teskey with the serve. Through the block, Hungate can't play it over. A point to Olivet. Saints didn't want to concede that one, but they still have 2 more match points to try to put it away. 3 more match points to try to put it away. Well, they're going to have to use one of the other 2. So that serve goes off the side of the arm of Ann Simon. It's an ace. And now just a 2-point game. Back to Brianna Lamy to serve. It was 24-20. Olivet clinging to their final chances. Rodriguez for the opening set win. Nope. Moni Hori gets it past the blockers. Here's Morris. Morris finds an empty spot on the defense for Olivet and helps the Fighting Saints wrap up a 25-22 opening set victory. Long way to go in this one for St. Francis, but they're where they want to be after one game. 25-22 victory. They lead the match 1-0. I'll step aside for a moment. Back in a couple of minutes with set number 2. Good start for the home team. After one set, St. Francis has the lead. It's a 25-22 final in the opener. We're ready to start set number 2. Let's take a look at some of the stats from the opening one. Olivet had more kills than St. Francis did, 16-12, but they also had a lot more errors. 7 attacking errors, just 2 for St. Francis. who finished with a .238 hitting percentage. Tigers were at just .196. Defensively, Olivet had 24 digs. Saints had 18. Saints had 2 blocks, none for the Tigers. Ready to start set number 2. Olivet standing off to our right has the opening serve, and it's away from Skylar Dorsey. Here we go. Riley Hungate. Good recovery from the Tigers. Here's Moni Hori, sorry. Hungate over the blockers this time. Went into the block last time. And this is into the net off the hit from Frieden. And St. Francis strikes first. That's not the way it went in set 1. Tigers jumped out to a 4-0 lead before St. Francis came storming back. It was a game of runs. Tigers led by 4 early. The Saints led by 5 around the midpoint. Olivet came back, but the Saints put them away. Broadway for Hungate. Tip to the back row. Frieden, too strong on that swing. Was it deflected? It was not. So that's a point for the Fighting Saints. And they've got the first 2 of the game. Broadway for Hungate, and Hungate lofts it over the line for Olivet's first point of the second set. Naomi Monihori, junior from Guatemala, serves into the net. A service error against Olivet Nazarene. I mentioned they had more attacking errors than the Fighting Saints did in the first set. We didn't have a lot of problems on serves. That's only the 3rd total service error. Each had 1 in the first. Out of bounds. It skims the top of the net off the attack from Ayla Dorsey. Back-to-back unforced errors against the Tigers have continued a hot start for St. Francis. Over the block, a great dive by Masana, and the Saints keep the rally alive. They do it again. At the net this time, it's punched out of bounds by Emma Rodriguez. And Olivet comes out with the point. Ayla Dorsey, trailing by 2, sends a short serve. Kirstein is able to respond for St. Francis. Rodriguez towards the back row. Nice running play by Monihori to keep it alive. Out of bounds off the Saints block. Olivet has scored 3 of the last 4 points. 2 in a row here. Not 3 of the last 4. They were down 2-0 and now 4-3. Teskey just out of the reach of Ayla Dorsey, who was running towards the net. And Teskey was able to knock it right to where she had been. That's a kill for Alyssa Teskey, who's had a really strong showing so far today. Led the team with 4 kills and a .571 hitting percentage in the first set. That's blocked by Woodrich. Teskey. A point for St. Francis. 2 in a row for Alyssa Teskey. She's up to 6 kills for the game. Serve belongs to Delaney Kirstein. Gets the top of the net and does go over. Frieden. Rodriguez for the Saints. That's down. Over the blockers And in front of the diving Skylar Dorsey from the back row. St. Francis leads by 4, 3 in a row. They've got 2 straight points on Kirstein serves. Awkward hit by Olivet. Almost bamboozled the Saints, and it does end up getting the Tigers a point as Rodriguez's attack sails out of bounds. St. Francis already leads this match 1-0. Olivet doesn't want to fall behind further. Rodriguez goes across court and way out of bounds. Tigers have scored 2 straight. A junior transfer from North Central Michigan College, Annalise Frieden serves. Nice leaping play by Lamy. Teskey blocked out of bounds. Saints have largely been in control of this second set so far. We're still relatively early in it. But every time Olivet tries to go on a run, the Saints make a play. They didn't need to make a play right there. Hit too hard and out of bounds by Emma Edmonds. An attacking error matches St. Francis's biggest lead, 9-5. Edmonds this time puts it down perfectly inside the line. Great hit by Emma Edmonds. And it'll be Natalie Wall going back to serve. Sophomore from right around here. She's from Mokina, Illinois. That's into the net from Moni Hori, who got off to such a hot start today. Haven't seen a whole lot from her since. She had 3 kills very early in the opening set. She's still sitting on 4 overall for the match right now. That, however, was her first attacking error, and it gives St. Francis a 10-6 lead. Out of bounds off the deflection. Another kill for Emma Edmonds. And we're trading points now. Saints would be happy to do that the entire rest of the night. Just trade points. That would give them a win in the second set. My guess is that's not how the rest of this game is going to go. Awkward touch by Ann Simon. It's an ace. And sure enough, we didn't just trade points for an entire set. Just a 2-point game. Brianna Lamy goes back to serve. She just picked up the ace. Set from Morris, and Morris can't get to it. Now just a 1-point game. Hot start for St. Francis. Olivet has since come on strong, and they look to even it up for the first time. Saints looking for the side out. Good block. Aston Casey is there to play it. Simon for Teskey to Woodrich. Towards the scores table, kept in play. Teskey pushes to the back corner. And again, Olivet's able to keep it in play. And Moni Hori finishes with the kill, knotting the score up at 10 apiece. There's Naomi Moni Hori, who I was just talking about, had slowed down. First kill, though, of this second set. And it's a big one, tying the score at 10. 4 straight points for the Tigers. Morris trying to put an end to that run. Now it's Hungate's turn. Monihori does it again. Back-to-back points for her. 5 in a row for the Tigers. Timeout called by Kara Courier, the 24th year head coach of the Fighting Saints, as her team trails for the first time since the first set when they were down early. Came back to win 25-22. Are up to the minute leaders. Alyssa Teskey and Naomi Monihori lead their respective teams with 7 kills each. Teskey does not have an attacking error, so she is hitting a really strong 583 so far today. The Saints, however, as a team, are hitting 000 in this set so far. Teskey is well on her way to another double-double. She's had a lot of them lately, but already 7 kills, 7 digs in this match. That doesn't mean she's going to get there. But we're not yet halfway through. Even if it's only a 3-set match, we're not yet halfway through it. So she's got lots of time to add a few more stats on. Olivet serve out of the timeout. They've scored 5 consecutive points. Teskey for Hungate. Good play by Aston Casey. That's a nice dig. Teskey for Woodrich. Back up. And another kill for Olivet. This time it's Ayla Dorsey. 6 in a row for the Tigers. Brianna Lamey's had a nice home behind that service line. Hungate's trying to put an end to the run, and she does. That's a big swing from Riley Hungate in more ways than one. She really wound up for it. Very hard to stop for Olivet. And it brings St. Francis to within 1 point after the game had been in the process of slipping away from them. Serve from Ann Simon. Monihori to the back row. Simon. Morris into the antenna. It looked good initially. It was off the top of the net, and then it landed on Olivet's side, but in between, it did get the antenna, which makes it out of bounds. 2-point lead for the Tigers. Hungate. Simon plays it right off the back line. And Hungate drops it right in front of a diving Natalie Wall. So when the Saints have needed a point lately, it's been Riley Hungate who has come up big. And now we'll see if they can tie the score. The senior Talia Masana is doing the serving. That's off the hands of Masana. Simon was going to play it, but after that deflection, no chance for either of them. So Olivet stays in front. Saints haven't been able to string any points together in a while. Been just one at a time. That's what it felt like for the Tigers early in this set. Masana for Hungate. Nice dig on the other side by Monihori. This is Teskey. Good opportunity here for the Fighting Saints, and they make it work out to their favor. Delaney Kirstein. Good hit to the back corner. Oh boy, here we go. Just a 1-point game. Another chance for St. Francis to tie it up it's Hungate. And a kill for Bryn Nykenchuk. She was very active in the first set. Led the team with 4 kills. That is her second of this second set. Gives Olivet a 2-point lead. Talia Masana for Alyssa Teskey. Going towards the Tigers bench, but kept alive. Good opportunity for the Saints here. Kirstein gets it down. Delaney Kirstein has had a few big swings of late. Keeping this one very close, and it is very close, coming down to the wire. Service error against Kirstein. That's the first one of those in this set for St. Francis, so it's hard to be upset when you've only had one, but it comes at a costly time for them. Frieden serves to Simon. Here's Emma Rodriguez looking for the point. Played back the other way. It skims the top of the net and drops down. Another kill for Nykenchuk. Tigers have their biggest lead yet. 17-14, getting late. Saints need to go on a run very soon. They were up 10-6. Since then, they've been outscored 11-4. A little bit behind Teskey. She's able to get it over there. And Olivet can't play it cleanly. It's out of bounds. A bit of a lucky break for the St. Francis Fighting Saints, but they'll take it. A much-needed point, and they trail by 2. Teskey, who just got credit for the kill, serves now. Nykenchuk to the back row. Woodrich taps it over the blockers, and it's down. Brianna Lamy made the diving effort. Couldn't keep it up, though. One-point game. This for the tie. Nice set and a strong finish from Edmonds off the pass from from Skylar Dorsey. Dorsey's cleaning up on assists today. She's got 24 of them. Not yet through this second set. Natalie Wall serves. Teskey for Rodriguez. Blocked inbounds. Got it. Didn't get it just inside the line. It's out. And a point to St. Francis. I thought it was just inside that line, but the line judge said it was not. He's got a better view than I do. So how many times is this now? 4 or 5 that the Saints, since trailing, have cut the deficit down to 1, but they haven't been able to erase it entirely. They could with a point on Maya Broadway's serve right here. And they do. It's an ace from Broadway. And we're tied at 18. Nice comeback initially from Olivet, but the Saints have responded when it matters most, and a timeout is called by the Tigers. It's their first. We got a good finish brewing here at the Sullivan Center, set number 2. St. Francis has a 1-0 lead after taking out the Tigers 25-22 in the opening set. First time these two teams matched up this year was extremely tight. And today has been no different. Back on September 25th in Bourbonnais, Saints won the opening set 25-22, so that's pretty familiar. And then Olivet took the second one 25-23. I wouldn't yet say that that's familiar because we're not at that point, but I could sure see it if it ends up going 25-23 Olivet. It would not surprise me. And if it does do that, I don't think I would say advantage St. Francis. I think the Saints would prefer to win this second game, but if they do continue to follow the identical pattern to the last time around, the Saints would end up on top. Saints fell in straight sets to Viterbo on Tuesday. That snapped a 3-match winning streak. They had won 8 out of 9 prior to that one, but Viterbo has been just a little bit too tough for everybody in the conference this year. Good hit from Naomi Monihori. She's been the go-to player when the Tigers have needed a point. They needed one there, and they lead by 1. Monihori is closing in on double figures, 9 kills for her. Brianna Lamy has the serve. Simon steps up, and Woodrich can't get it over. Tip from Teskey was a little bit behind her. Point to Olivet, 20-18, and this is a huge one now. The 39th point of the second set of the 31st match of the season for St. Francis, and it's a service error on Lamy. It was a risky move from Broadway. It looked like she wanted to play it, and at the last instant she backed away. Took a risk, and it just was out of bounds. So again, St. Francis gets back to within 1. They finally got over the hurdle last time and tied the score. See if they could do it again. Been a while since they've had a lead. Are they going to get it here, or was she over the net? Nope, they've got it. A point to St. Francis. We are tied at 20. So now it's the first to 5. Good start for the Tigers in that quest as Ann Simon drills it right into the net. So each team has had a critical service error late in this set. St. Francis is still looking for their first lead since it was 10-9. Serve belongs to Skylar Dorsey, and it's out of bounds. 3 critical service errors late in this game. Serve is away from Talia Masana. Olivet looking for the lead. Masana is able to make the diving play to keep it alive. And a nice hit with the left hand of Riley Hungate keeps this rally going. Here's Teskey. It's down. Teskey gets the point, and the Saints have the lead. First lead since it was 10-9. Remember, the Saints led 10-6. All of that went on a 6-0 run, and they've been in control ever since, but no more. Timeout called by the Tigers. With the game on the line, certainly not the match on the line, not yet. But falling behind 2-0 is not usually a recipe to win a match, so this is a big one for them. Like I said, I tried to get you some scoreboard updates as today's match progressed. St. Xavier leads Judson 2-0 right now. They're in the third set on the south side of Chicago. St. Xavier and St. Francis came into play today, tied for the second spot in the CCAC. They played each other here last week, and St. Francis won that dramatically in 5 sets. And because of that, they have the tiebreaker. So if both teams win, St. Francis will be the 2 seed in the tournament, which means that Judson-St. Xavier score really doesn't mean anything unless the Saints lose here today. So far, they're leading. That is out of bounds. Nope, inbounds. The line judge said out. The referee said, nope, I got a good look at it. It was in. So we're tied. 22-22. What a game we've got going here. This has been close throughout. Masana behind her for Teskey, who rolls it into the net. So now it's the Tigers with back-to-back points, who are just 2 away from picking up a win here in set 2. Hungate, nice hit by Riley Hungate. She's fired up. She's just tied the score, 23. Hungate serves. Up over the Olivet bench and out of bounds. Set point for the Fighting Saints on the Riley Hungate ace. She had a kill and she had an ace. She has come up huge at crunch time, and now we'll see if she can finish it off. That's down off the hands of Talia Masana. A point for Ayla Dorsey, and we will play on. Next team to take a 2-point lead will have themselves a victory in this second set. Saints have had 1 set point. Olivet hasn't had one yet, but they can get one with a point here. Right at the net, awkward hit by St. Francis. They can't recover. An outset point for the Tigers. They lead it 25-24. Serve belongs to Ayla Dorsey. Set up for Teskey. Here come the Tigers. Into the net, and we're tied. Olivet is out of timeouts. St. Francis has 1 left as Delaney Kirstein serves. And it's an ace for Kirstein off the hands of Nikenchuk. Second set point for the Fighting Saints. It took them 3 chances to close out the first game. They'll try to close out the second on their second chance. And they do it. Delaney Kirstein has another ace. And St. Francis beats Olivet Nazarene 27-25. They are on the cusp of a sweep of the Olivet Nazarene Tigers. It won't be easy in the third set, though. First 2 were just about as close as can be, but as we take a break here for the next couple of minutes, St. Francis gets set to try to wrap up a 3-set sweep. They lead the Tigers 2-0. St. Francis leads this match 2-0, and so they can pick up their 14th conference victory with 25 more points here as they take the right side of the floor. This has been extremely close through 2 sets. St. Francis has outscored Olivet by a combined 5 points. Always tough to be in a situation like the one the Tigers were in the last set, in which they scored 25 points but lost. Just doesn't feel quite right. You scored 25, you should win. That's not what happened. In fact, I just said the Saints are 25 points away from winning this match, but as Olivet has proven, not necessarily. We're underway in the 3rd set, and Malaya Morris gives the first point of the set to Olivet as she taps it a little bit too softly into the net. Skylar Dorsey gets her turn to serve. She's had a good one tonight. 27 assists. 27 aces would be really impressive. 27 assists for her and 11 digs. Riley Hungate attacks out of bounds. 2-0 Tigers. First 2 points of this game for Olivet have both come on attacking errors for St. Francis. And there's the 3rd in a row. Saints have come out all out of sorts in this 3rd set. 3 straight errors on them have led to 3 straight points for Olivet. And now they'll try to make it 4-0. And another serve from Skylar Dorsey. Good hit from Cadence Woodrich. Gets the Saints off to Schneid. And we'll see if that sparks them for the rest of this set. It is amazing how easily momentum can be destroyed during that 3-minute break between sets. The Saints were on a roll, really playing well, fired up, not very many mistakes, and then all of a sudden they come out of the break for the 3rd set and they just didn't have that same energy early. We'll see if that changes here. Good play by Broadway. Here's Hungate. That's down for an Olivet point. 4-1 Tigers. Well, they led the opening game 4-0. The Saints came back to win that, so 4-1 is certainly not going to cause them to panic. Case in point, Riley Hungate, 7th kill this evening. First time these 2 teams met up. Hungate led the Fighting Saints in kills, as she has more often than not this year. She had 15 of them in that first meeting. Simon hits it up into the rafters, still alive. Teskey hits it over and out. It's a tough one to adjust to. Everybody out there knows the ball can hit the ceiling and come down and still be in play, but when it actually happens, your rhythm is thrown off a little bit, and that's what happened to Teskey. Almost seemed like she lost her place on the court and just hit it too hard. Broadway passes to Hungate. Returning it, Nikonchuk. Bryn Nikonchuk has her 6th kill. Actually, I read that wrong. That's her 8th kill. Olivet's lead is 4. This is as big as they've led at any point in the match, and it's not that way anymore. It's down to 3. Saints lead it 2-0. Lead went back and forth a couple of times in each of the first 2 sets. So I don't expect this to be easy for either team in the 3rd, but the Saints are back within 2. Nice hit at the net from Delaney Kirstein. And Hungate serves again, trying to get the Saints down by just one. Masana for Teskey. Lunging effort to keep it alive by Moni Hori. Good play by her. Frieden kept in the air by the Saints, but they can't get it over on 3 hits. Nice rally, a couple of good defensive plays from Olivet ultimately led to them getting the point. 7 serving 4. Another serve for Annalise Frieden. And Alyssa Teskey picks up a kill. She's in double figures there. 10 kills, 10 assists. She's also got 7 digs. So again, she has really filled the stat sheet today. Delaney Kirstein's turn to serve. Big hit from Nikon Chuck, out of bounds. Was it tipped? No, it wasn't. Olivet says that it was. No review. Sorry, we've got the only camera. I didn't see it. 6 serving 7. Looking for the tie. Nikon Chuck, this time was definitely deflected. And so Bryn Nikenchuk has an attacking error on one play and a kill on the next. Two-point lead for the team with the serve, Olivet Nazarene. Tough serve right there from Wall. Got the top of the net and just trickled it over. That was unplayable for St. Francis. Just nothing you can do about it. Good block by the Tigers. We haven't seen a lot of blocks today, and the Saints were able to keep that from becoming one. Off Masana and out of bounds on a strong attack from Ayla Dorsey. So the Tigers create some separation here. It was 7-6. Actually, it was 7-3. The Saints fought back, made it 7-6, and now 10-6, Olivet. So another 4-point lead for the Tigers, matching their biggest of the match. And Rodriguez gets them back to within 3. Nice kill for Emma Rodriguez. And an ace for Teskey. Alyssa Teskey keeps racking up the points. She leads the team tonight decisively with 12 of them, 10 kills, and that's her second ace of the night. That's blocked by St. Francis. Cadence Woodrich has her second solo block of the night. She and Delaney Kirstein each have 2. Saints are back to within 1 point. Hungate for Rodriguez. Nice dig by Lamy. And a good, strong kill from Naomi Monihori. Very similar to what we saw in the last game. Olivet had a lead. St. Francis kept pushing. They got within 1. Got within 1. They did it over and over. And they never could get over the hump until finally they did. And then carried that to a 2-point victory. That's blocked, but right back to Olivet. And a kill for Edmonds. Tigers by 3. We just keep following that same pattern. I would guess, I haven't actually kept track of this, but I would guess that Olivet has been in the lead more often than not today. And yet they've lost 2 sets in a row. And the Saints can't get this one over. Natalie Wall has an ace. Two teams just keep trading 3-point runs. It was 7-3, then 7-6. 10-6, and 10-9. Now it's 13-9. See if the Saints can answer with 3 straight. Rodriguez to the back row. Wall. Here's Moni Hori, and that's inbounds. A point to Olivet, and they take a 5-point lead. This is the biggest one they've had all day today, and St. Francis calls timeout. It was a tough start for the Fighting Saints to this third set. They were coming off of an emotional second set victory, and they came out flat here. It was 3-0 on 3 straight Fighting Saints errors. Saints haven't fully been able to shake those, as their hitting percentage is just 0 so far in this game. On the day, they're at 144. Olivet's at 171. Tigers have 35 kills to the Saints 30. There are just so many ways that the Tigers statistically have been on top in this one. 53 digs, just 43 for the Saints. 35 assists to 29. Up and down the stats columns, it's the Tigers in front, and yet that has not been the score. St. Francis won the first set. They won the second set. By points, we're dead even right now. 61-61 is the cumulative score so far. But it is still St. Francis in control of the match, if not this game right now. Serve from Dorsey. Inbounds, got the line on the hit from Cadence Woodrich. The Saints needed that one, another inch or two, and it would have been a 6-point deficit. Instead, the Saints come out of the timeout with a point and the serve. Maya Broadway sends it off with the right hand. And Emma Edmonds gets it right through the block for a kill. Skylar Dorsey's turn to serve. Another kill for Cadence Woodrich. 2 straight for her. Woodrich has had a good match tonight. That's now 6 kills for her. She's also got those 2 blocks I talked about a little bit earlier. So she's been very involved in the middle. Diving play by Broadway, pushed to the back corner by Teskey. The Wall keeps it alive. And Simon tries to do the same on a dive, but it's out of bounds. And a kill for Olivet. Their lead remains at 5 and starting to get deep into this third set as they look to stay alive. Hungate kept in bounds. Moni Hori plays it from the back row. Chance for Morris, out of bounds. Up to a 6-point lead for the Tigers. And now this is their biggest lead of the entire night. With a 6-point lead now, they've officially outscored St. Francis overall today. To go along with some of those stats I just read a few minutes ago. Riley Hungate pulls the Saints back to within 5. Hungate's got some big hits today. That was one of them. Talia Masana comes in to serve. Saints need to go on a run here. They don't necessarily need to erase this deficit now, but they're getting close to a point where they need to score at least 2 or 3 in a row on serves. That's not going to do it as Hungate launches it out of bounds. Olivet in good shape in this third set. Saints have a little more margin for error right now, not that they want to utilize that. Serve from Lamy. Played by Teskey over the blockers. And over for Olivet. Masana for Kirstein. Delaney Kirstein gets St. Francis back on the board. Kirstein's 5th kill of the night. And again, the Saints are at that point. They have not been able to secure any of their serves lately. It's been a long time since they've run more than 1 point consecutively together. Not anymore. An attacking error from Moni Hori pulls the Saints to within 4. Simon from the back row for Masana. Kirstein tried to force it down. Olivet keeps play alive. Into the net from Hungate. She throws her hands up in frustration. She tried to tap it over and went a little bit too soft. Serve from Frieden. Rodriguez got it in. Emma Rodriguez has had some nice points in this third set. Saints are still alive. Stepping up from the back row is Moni Hori. A chance here for Teskey. Coming down on the other side. Bumped over by Teskey. Good opportunity for Olivet, and they take advantage. Skylar Dorsey has been so good on the pass all night. This time, she decides to play it herself. It's her first kill all match after 35 assists. And that sure gives her the element of surprise. Rodriguez into the net. Slipping away from the Fighting Saints here. Olivet has gotten close to a 4th set. It's not over yet, though. Kara Courier calls timeout, trying to get her team back into this one and avoid the need for that 4th set. They're still ahead in this one 2-0, so even if the Tigers are able to finish this off, Saints will have 2 chances to win the match. Both teams came into today's match after a loss. For St. Francis, 3-set defeat at Viterbo. For Olivet, a 4-set loss against Governors State. Both teams prior to that loss had won 3 in a row. In the case of St. Francis, those 3 straight wins have put them in control of their own destiny in terms of looking for 2nd place finish in the CCAC. In the case of Olivet, that 3 straight wins guaranteed them a minimum of a 500 conference record. They came into play today 9-8 in the CCAC. And in position to make the conference tournament. What seed they'll get is anybody's guess. Serve from Wall. It's an error. Coming out of the timeout, Saints stay alive on Natalie Wall's service error. Here's a serve from Alyssa Teskey, the left-hander. Skims the top of the net. Moni Hori deflected at the net. Here's Rodriguez. Chance for Moni Hori. Saints take it back with Hungate. Good rally back and forth. Diving play Rodriguez, but can't keep it alive. Tigers get the point and a 6-point lead. Short serve, too short from Ayla Dorsey. Back-to-back service errors for Olivet. So they're struggling a little bit right now, keeping that door open for St. Francis. We'll see if the Saints can barge through. This would be a tough one for the Tigers to lose at this point after having a big lead late. They're still in control. Simon for Teskey, who sets up Hungate, and Hungate drives it home for the point. Maya Broadway gets another serve. Right at the net. Olivet gets it over, tipped across by Woodrich. And Moni Hori pulls the Tigers one step closer to a win. Naomi Moni Hori, the leading point getter for the Tigers all year. Led the team in kills the last time these two met up. Leads the conference in kills per set. That's a big one right there. Nice work by the defense of Olivet. Hungate blocked, right back to Broadway. Hungate again, over the block this time and down. (19 serving 23). Dan Simon serve. Back and forth at the net. Here's Teskey with a set for Hungate. In the corner and down. Riley Hungate making big play after big play late in the third set. Saints are within 3. And that's close enough for Jake Ostema to call a timeout. Ostema, former Trinity Christian College volleyball player, been coaching at Olivet for the last few years. 1 year as an assistant, 3 as the head coach. Tigers are going to finish overall with a losing record this year, but a win today would make them a winning team in the CCAC, and that's no small accomplishment. St. Francis also had a losing non-conference record. They were 4-9 against a tough schedule, but the key is always to get going when conference play starts. That's all that really matters. And both of these teams have done that. Tigers have clinched a 500 record, but that's not the same thing as having a winning record. They're 9-8, playing their final match of the season today, the regular season anyway. Both teams will be playing in the conference tournament, which starts next week. As for whether or not the Saints have to win today, they do. St. Xavier finished a 3-set sweep of Judson. So they finished the year 14-4 in conference. St. Francis is 13-4, pending this result. Out of the timeout, the Saints get a block. Morris and Kirstein at the net. Pull the Saints to within 2, 21 serving 23. It's Ann Simon getting the serve. Moni Hori deflected. Hungate to the back row. Another chance for Moni Hori, again touched at the net. And sent down by Kirstein. We've got a 1-point game. The Saints are on a roll. I've been saying it for a little while now. There's going to come a certain point where they have to string several points in a row together, 4 or 5 straight. Well, they waited till the absolute last minute, but they're doing it. They were down by 5. They were down by 6, in fact, pretty recently. And now it's a 23-22 game. Saints have been down this entire third set. They have not had a single lead. They've trailed by as many as 6 points, most recently at 22-16. And between these two teams, you'd still rather be Olivet Nazarene right now because they've got the 23-22 lead, but the Saints have all the momentum. They've got the crowd behind them, and that's why Jake Ostema has just used up back-to-back timeouts, just trying to slow down the rhythm that the Fighting Saints are in right now. And Simons had a nice run as a server here. Saints have scored 4 straight points, 3 of them with Simon serving. Olivet trying to respond. Chance for St. Francis. It's Teskey for Morris over the blockers. Kept in the air. Chance for Moni Hori. Broadway for Hungate. Good opportunity for Moni Hori, and it's set point. And Moni Hori gets a nice set like she did right there. She's going to make you pay a heck of a lot more often than not. Her 13th kill tonight. Now this point would set up a 5th set. And that's what it's going to do. Olivet Nazarene wins it 25-22, and we will have at least one more. Saints took the first 2, the Tigers took the third, and we'll take a timeout here. Back in a couple of minutes with set number 4. Saints lead it 2-1. Fourth set coming up. St. Francis still leads the match 2-1. They won the opener 25-22 and 27-25. Then Olivet got them back with a 25-22 win of their own. Leaders right now individually, Naomi Monihori, the conference leader in kills, leads the match as well, 13 of them. Riley Hungate is second in the conference in kills. She's second in the match as well with 11. Listeski's got a triple-double with 10 kills, 17 assists, 11 digs. 18 assists for Talia Masana, 13 digs for Ann Simon. Brianna Lamy has 16 digs to lead Olivet. Skylar Dorsey has 36 assists and 14 digs. St. Francis had a little bit of trouble offensively in that third set, just a 104 hitting percentage. They had 9 attacking errors after combining for just 10 in the first 2 sets. Olivet will serve first in this fourth set. Back on the right side of the screen. And the serve is away. We're underway. And we're off and running with a St. Francis lead. Delaney Kirstein drills it into the back corner. St. Francis scores first. They got off to a very slow start in the first set. In fact, I mentioned they had 9 attacking errors. 3 of them came on the first 3 points of that set. So they bounced back afterwards, and they're trying to carry some of that strong play into this set as well. Teske got it down. Perfectly placed in the corner. Back-to-back kill shots in the corner for the Fighting Saints. They lead 2-0. Alyssa Teske has her 11th kill, matching Riley Hungate for a Saints lead. That's inbounds on the attack from Annalise Frieden. It's a big point for Olivet. I know we're early. I know it only makes it 2-1, but the Saints came out fired up. 2 really good plays to start out this match, or this set rather. So just to quell the momentum boost that the Saints had received, Olivet stays on track. That's out of bounds on the strike from Kirstein, and now we're tied at 2. Naomi Monihori has been the star of the show for the Tigers today. One of a few stars, really. Had a lot of good performances, but she gets the serve here, trying to give the Tigers their first lead. The Saints never led in the third set. So their 1-0 advantage here was their first one in a while. And now they trail as Kirstein's attack drifts a little bit too far past the sideline. Out of bounds to make it 3-2 Tigers. 3 straight points for the visiting side. Monihori's won back-to-back serves, trying to make it 3 straight. Goes short. Hungate gets the top of the net. And back across. Teske going to the back line. It was played by Monihori. And a nice finish by Bryn Nikenchuk. Nikenchuk makes it 4 in a row for Olivet Nazarene. Good start for the Saints. Tigers have bounced very quickly back. Simon for Masana. Kirstein. Nice recovery on defense for the Tigers. It's Nikenchuk diving play made by Simon. Hungate. A good dig by Lamy as well. And a strong finish from Frieden. Annalise Frieden, who often plays as a setter, has been on the outside today, and she's been great. 6 kills for her now. Olivet has scored 5 in a row. Riley Hungate gets the Saints back on the board. Big point for Hungate as Olivet had seized control of this one. Now it's 3 serving 5. It's Hungate who will serve after picking up her 12th kill of the night. Nice touch from the back row. The attack from Moni Hori. She's been doing it at the net all night, but even when she's played on the back row, she's been a pretty strong attacker for Olivet. They're doubling up St. Francis right now. Still very early, just 9 points in. Serve belongs to Brianna Lamy. It's too strong. Out of bounds on the serve. That'll give the point to St. Francis. A rare error for right now. Olivet's been playing very crisply in this set. They're hitting it at a .444 rate. That was their first error of any kind. For serving 6, it's Delaney Kirstein, the freshman. That's a low serve. So each team has a service error. They cancel each other out for all intents and purposes. 7-4. Teskey is blocked right back. And the battle at the net is won by Ayla Dorsey. And Olivet extends their lead, 8-4. Soft serve from Frieden. Nikenchuk touched to the back row. It's Rodriguez over the blockers. Nikenchuk will try it again. This time played cleanly by Simon for Rodriguez. Good dig by Frieden. Inbounds on the attack. Olivet continues to play near flawless volleyball in this fourth set. Their lead is up to 5. Saints took the first 2 tonight. Tigers bounced back with a tight 25-22 victory. They were up by 6 points late. Saints went on a good run, but the Tigers were able to withstand it. Nikenchuk has another kill for Olivet Nazarene. Timeout called by Kara Courier as the Saints have trouble getting going in this one. 10-4. Tigers on top as they try to even it up and force a 5th set. Their hitting percentage just keeps going up. It's up to .462 right now. Saints are at 0 for this set. For the match now, it's 189-134 in favor of the Tigers. So pretty decisively favoring Olivet right now. I've talked about it throughout the night. Statistically, you wouldn't really be able to tell who's winning the match. They've been very close, but Olivet leads in most categories, 46 kills to 42. I already mentioned a higher hitting percentage, 45 assists to 41, 75 digs to 67. So none of these are runaway leads for Olivet, but statistically they are winning up and down the board except for the most important one. That's 2-1. St. Francis leads the match. Olivet is in really good shape in this set so far, though, with that 10-4 lead. They have a long way to go. This could have several more twists and turns and could easily fall apart for the Tigers. But if it doesn't, if they are able to coast at the same rate they're at right now, we'll put them in position to try for a reverse sweep in a 5th set. Saints were both so close to wrapping this one up when they pulled to within 23-22 in the last game. But Olivet was able to finish them off. Here's Teskey, blocked right back to her. Punched in the air, battle at the net. Won by St. Francis, but the rally is alive. Blocked out of bounds by the Saints, and that's another kill for Nikenchuk. She is on a roll. Bryn Nikenchuk, the freshman from Mantino, has 3 consecutive kills for Olivet Nazarene and now has 13 in the match. Rodriguez, good dig on the other end by Lamy. And Olivet finally can't return one. Saints stay strong at the net and get back on the board. Their 7-point deficit was the biggest that either team has faced at any stage of tonight's match, but it is at least early enough for St. Francis. They know they have plenty of time to erase it. See if they're able to do it. It's Rodriguez. Hungate and Woodrich get tangled up with one another, and it leads to a double hit call. Unfortunate break for St. Francis there. And the Tigers have the serve with a 7-point lead. Moni Hori cradles the net, and it drops out of bounds off the Saints. Tigers continue to pull away, now 13-5, past the halfway point. Another serve from Natalie Wall. Rodriguez, played by Aston Casey. Moni Hori blocked and down. Good block by the Fighting Saints. That's one area they've outperformed Olivet throughout tonight. Just 2 blocks for the Tigers this evening. Saints have 7 of them, including 3 solo blocks for Cadence Woodrich. Out of bounds. Was it touched? No, it wasn't. The Tigers sure thought so. Saints have pulled within 6. Maya Broadway comes on to serve. Freshman out of Plainfield Central High School. Moni Hori, good placement on that swing. Naomi Moni Hori continues her romp through today's match. 15 kills for her. Actually, that was number 16. The Tigers are doubling up the Saints. Taski for Hungate, out of bounds. An errant attack from Riley Hungate. Olivet extends their lead further. Saints took the first 2 sets, but it has been all Olivet since the start of the third. They led wire to wire in the third set. And this one they only trailed briefly. Mariah Morris hits it over the blockers. At the net, point 1 by Skylar Dorsey. Dorsey has over 40 assists now. That's her second kill. She didn't have one until late in the third set. Now she's got one in each of the last 2. 91 kills for her this season. Hungate. A pancake from Aston Casey. Kept it alive for the Tigers, and we play through it. Moni Hori has another kill. Olivet leads by 10. Timeout, St. Francis. The Saints scored the first 2 points of the fourth set. They were up 2-0. And that's the only time that they have led in either of the last 2 games. It has been all Olivet, and the biggest thing that they've done is just not shoot themselves in the foot. Their hitting percentage has decreased. You figured it would. It was up near 500 for a while. It's down to 296 right now, so they have had a couple of attacking errors, but 22 of them now for the match. The Saints are up to 24, and their hitting percentage is below 0 right now for the fourth set. So it's not that the Saints are playing poorly necessarily. It's just that Olivet is not making any mistakes. And as the Saints try to play through that, they just haven't been able to keep up. We'll see what happens coming out of this timeout. as I've said before, the Saints have a little bit more room for error than the Tigers do, because they've still got the lead in the match. So even if Olivet does continue at this rate, the Saints will still have a chance to win it. Of course, it'd be on even footing at that point. Tigers serve coming out of the timeout. It's Ayla Dorsey. First double-digit lead for either team all night, 17-7. Teskey for Woodrich. Going back the other way and out of bounds. Another miscue on the hit from St. Francis. Saints are out of timeouts after the last one called by Kara Courier. And Dorsey gets another serve. Teskey for Hungate. Nice hit by Riley Hungate. Saints needed it. That seems to be the way they've gotten out of every funk they've been in tonight. Got a big hit from Riley Hungate. Unfortunately for St. Francis, this one came after a considerable run for Olivet, who now leads by 10 points. Out of bounds off the hit from Dorsey. 2 in a row for St. Francis. See if they can go on a monster roll here and wrap this match up in 4 sets. Simon for Teskey, who sets up Hungate over the blockers. Coming in from the back row is Lamy. Hungate. Tipped over the blockers by Emma Edmonds. The Saints keep it alive. Moni Hori, powerful hit, but over from Broadway. And hit into the net by Edmonds. Great defense from the Fighting Saints set up that point. They've scored 3 in a row. 10 serving 18. That is out of bounds. Along the sideline, Simon's run as server comes to a close. Got it just a little bit too hard there. Tried to soften it inside that line. Instead, it's a 9-point lead for the Tigers. And the serve belongs to Skylar Dorsey. Nice hit by Delaney Kirstein off the assist from Alyssa Teskey. Here's Talia Masana. Moni Hori, another good hit. Just out of the reach of the diving Maya Broadway. $18 kills now for Moni Hori, which is a very good number. But for somebody who's been as good as she has all year, it's barely above her average. She came in averaging almost 4 kills per set. Out of bounds from Kirstein. Just slightly mistimed on the jump. The set was a little bit low. Here's Hungate, and Hungate drives home another kill. Riley Hungate gets the serve after picking up the big point. Nice return from St. Francis as Nykenchuk can't get it past the blockers. Saints staying alive here late. 13 serving 21. It's Hungate. That got the line, or did it? The point's going to St. Francis. Olivet's arguing the line judge called it in. It's not official. So they lose that argument. Still a 7-point lead for the Tigers, but the Saints have made a game out of it. They've scored 6 of the last 9 points. Nykonchuk is blocked. Kirstein and Teske at the net. Delaney Kirstein has had a nice game, but Teske's had a huge one for the Fighting Saints. And Olivet calls timeout. The numbers up to the moment on Alyssa Teske now: 11 kills, 20 assists, 12 digs, and a block. Pretty impressive stuff from the sophomore. Riley Hungate leads the team with 14 kills right now, trying to keep the Saints in it. They're down by just 6. Remember, last game they were down 22-16. They almost came back to win. Got it to within 1 point at 23-22. They weren't quite able to complete that comeback, but they're down by a very similar score right now. We'll see if they can get hot late the same way, although they already have been. They were down by as many as 11. It was an 18-7 game. And with Olivet seemingly knocking on the door of a 5th and decisive set, St. Francis has outscored them since then 8-3. Out of the timeouts, Riley Hungate gets to serve. Nykonchuk hits it into the net. Bad mishit from Bryn Nykonchuk, and now the Saints are within 5 points. This is the best run they've had in this 4th set. Back-to-back games in which they've gotten hot late and made it really tight after it looked like Olivet was going to cruise. Hungate for Teske into the net. A rare error. That's just the 4th attacking error of the night for Alyssa Teske. And it bails out Olivet, who had been reeling a little bit. They're back on track now, ahead by 6. Rodriguez got it just in front of the diving Brianna Lamy. So one lost point was not enough to deter St. Francis. They get back on the horse. They've been rolling here lately. 6 of the last 7 points belong to the Fighting Saints. Frieden is tipped at the net. Teske to the back row, played by Moni Hori. Out of bounds on the attack from Nykonchuk. The Saints are within 4. I've spent so much of this 4th set talking about how flawlessly Olivet has been playing. That has not been the case lately. A lot of unforced errors from the Tigers. Hungate for Rodriguez. That's inbounds. Moni Hori let it go, and that landed decisively inbounds. All of a sudden, St. Francis is only down by 3. This was an 11-point game. Saints have outscored the Tigers 12-4 since then, and a timeout is called. Final timeout of this 4th set, so we'll play through after this. Remember those hitting percentage numbers I gave from Olivet earlier? There was a time, almost half this set, they were hitting over 400. It's down to 073. They've made 9 attacking errors, almost all of them very recent. And they're in a little bit of trouble. I'll still say the same thing I said late in the 3rd set. Of these two teams right now, you'd rather be Olivet Nazarene. They've got the lead. They're just 3 points away from a win. But it doesn't feel too bad to be the Saints right now either, because they're on fire. I mentioned they've outscored Olivet 12-4 over the last 16 points. They've also outscored them 8-1 over the last 9. Delaney Kirstein out of the timeout, trying to keep St. Francis rolling. Rodriguez for Masana, sets up Teskey. Good challenge at the net from the Tigers. Now Rodriguez out of bounds. No, inbounds. It landed in. I was just looking at the Tigers celebrating. When I called it out, they were pretty convinced it was their point. They don't get the call. Olivet's still upset about that one. They're unraveling right now. And as frustrated as they obviously are by that call, I think those 6 players on the court know that they need to get past it real quick. Kirstein sends the serve away. It's an ace. And the Saints are down by only 1. They were behind 21-11. They're on a 10-1 run right now and are 4 points away from winning this match. But a big hit at the net by Ayla Dorsey. Pulls Olivet back ahead. Saints have not led since it was 2-1. So even though they went on that huge run, Olivet has remained in control of this 4th set. Annalise Frieden sends it away. Saints are able to get it over. Good chance here for the Tigers. And it's set point. So despite the huge run from St. Francis, it is Olivet now who is 1 point away from sending us to a 5th set. Annalise Frieden tries to close it out. Nykenchuk hits it into the net. Replay on. 22-24. Saints know they need at least 2 more points consecutively here. Teskey's serve is a good one, and it's an ace. St. Francis needs 1 more to force overtime. 3rd straight set point for the Tigers. Nykenchuk, played by the Saints. Woodrich pushes it over. Rodriguez to the back row. And a good hit by Ayla Dorsey. Closes it out. Olivet Nazarene takes the 4th set, 25-23. We will have a 5th. After 4 sets, we're not only even 2 apiece, we're also even in total points right now. It's that tight through 4 sets. First to 15 is going to walk out of here with a victory. I'll take a quick break. Tied up at 2, heading to the 5th. been a wild one tonight. 2 sets apiece. St. Francis won the first 2. Olivet won the next 2. We have played a grand total of 194 points tonight. It's 97-97. Saints have won by 3 and then 2, and the Tigers have won by 3 and then 2. In back-to-back sets, the Saints have taken big deficits, come roaring back, and then fallen short. This time they'll try to start strong. Leaders through 4 sets. Naomi Monihori has 18 kills. Riley Hungate has 14. Alyssa Teskey 11. Delaney Kirstein has 15 points. Second on the team for the Saints tonight. Serve is away as we are underway in the 5th set. Up to 15 this time. Monihori has it deflected back. Monihori tries again. Touched at the net. Morris on the back line. It's Wall. Big hit. Naomi Monihori. 19 kills tonight. And it is the Tigers of Olivet Nazarene who strike first. High short serve from Skylar Dorsey. Returned by Hungate. Over from Wall. Hungate again. This time plays it softer. And an errant pass means St. Francis has evened the score 1-1. And Simon will serve for the Fighting Saints. Saints over the last 2 sets have led only once. Trying to do it again here. Frieden hits it into the antenna. That's a St. Francis point. Their 2-1 lead is their first since it was 2-1 in the 4th set. They never led at any point during the 3rd. But for as close as this match has been, it seems like the Saints should get in front at some point and stay there for maybe a little while longer. Frieden slices it out of bounds. No touch from St. Francis. And the Saints have a 2-point lead. Every lead is magnified in that 5th set when you're only going up to 15. Over from Monihori. Not what she wanted to do there, and Hungate makes her pay. 4 in a row for the Fighting Saints. Timeout called by Olivet. Olivet Nazarene got off to such a good start in the 4th set, and they crumbled as time went on. In the end, the lead that they had accrued early was big enough that the Saints weren't able to erase it despite some of the mistakes that the Tigers were making. But they've carried over now. 3 attacking errors already for Olivet in this set. And they're in some trouble. They called the early timeout again because it is the 5th set. Saints are within 11 points of a victory now. You just can't let it get away from you. Because even though the Saints have proven in back-to-back games that no lead is apparently safe, even though Olivet did hold on to both of those leads, they didn't feel safe. Even despite that, you put yourself really against the wall by taking an early deficit in the final set. So they're trying to nip it in the bud right here. St. Francis serve. It's Ann Simon. Saints have scored 4 consecutive points. At the net. Back to the Saints side. Teskey for Hungate. That's in. Riley Hungate has another kill. Give her 16 for the match. The Saints lead is 5-1. St. Francis's biggest lead today has been 5, if I'm not mistaken. So they're 1 point away from matching that. Reprimand for Olivet's head coach Jack Ostema. Hungate played on the back line by Wall. Moni Hori has it deflected back to her. Frieden gets it down. A kill for Annalise Frieden. After a 5-0 run from St. Francis, a huge point for Olivet. Naomi Moni Hori gets the serve. Played by Broadway. Hungate. There's Teskey for Kirstein. A good challenge at the net from the Tigers. And a strong finish from Nikenchuk. It's been an up and down night for Nikenchuk. She's got 10 attacking errors, but that's her 14th kill. So a lot of chances for her tonight. 39 total attacks. At a big moment, Olivet has scored 2 straight points. And they're down by only 2. Hungate puts them down by 3. 17th kill for Riley Hungate. Talia Masana comes in to serve. From the back row, hit into the net by Moni Hori. A rare mistake from her. And the Saints lead 7-3. Did that hit the antenna? It sure did from Bryn Nikenchuk, and now the Saints lead it 8-3, and they'll reverse sides. It has been an exhausting match tonight. St. Francis won the opening set 25-22. Olivet answered 27-25. Or sorry, St. Francis won again 27-25. And then Olivet answered 25-22 and 25-23. And when a match has been as grueling as this one has, you get to the 5th set, and a lot of times it's who's got the most energy. Right now it's St. Francis. Long way from over, though. Frieden bumps it over. Here's Masana for Hungate. And Hungate drives it home. It's a new season high for her 18th kill of the night. And 4 of them already have come in just this 5th set. Olivet uses their final timeout of the night. 9-3 St. Francis. A win would improve their conference record to 14-4. It would put them in a tie with St. Xavier for 2nd place in the CCAC, and it would give them the 2nd seed in the CCAC tournament based on the head-to-head result between those 2 teams 9 days ago. A dramatic 5-set victory for St. Francis. What's the difference between the 2nd and 3rd seed? Aside from personal pride, I suppose, it's the fact that if they were to meet up in the 2nd round of the tournament, that match would be here rather than at the Shannon Center. But the path to the conference championship game is going to be huge this year because Viterbo's not unbeatable, but they are unbeaten, 17-0 in CCAC play. So you've got to think they're a strong favorite in the conference tournament. If they do win that conference tournament, whoever finishes runner-up clinches a spot in the national tournament. So that's not to be decided now, but it does give you a leg up if you have that 2 seed. Chuck tried to go through the blockers and gets it down. 14th kill for her. She's got 14. Moni Hori's got 19. 59 kills overall for Olivet. That's actually the 15th kill for Chuck. Off the net on the serve. Here's Teskey, blocked right back to Simon. Hungate has another one. Riley Hungate's huge night keeps getting better and better as the Saints lead is up to 6. Matches their biggest lead of the night. They've had it a few times in this set. Masana for Rodriguez. And Rodriguez gets it down. The diving effort from Skylar Dorsey comes up short. And USF is just 4 points away from a regular season-ending victory. Rodriguez to Masana to Teskey. Alyssa Teskey's got a kill. This 5th set, after the first 4 were so close, has been all Saints. Moni Hori, good dig from Ann Simon. Chuck has it deflected out of bounds. 16 kills for her. For the freshman Bryn Chuck, who is second leading scorer this year for Olivet, it's been a big night. Teskey, inbounds. Beautiful hit from Alyssa Teskey. And St. Francis is just 2 points away. The serve goes to Delaney Kirstein. Chuck again, saved by Kirstein. And Emma Rodriguez finishes it off. Set up by the great defensive play by Kirstein. Rodriguez gives the Saints match point number 1. Delaney Kirstein will try to close it out with this serve. Moni Hori, returned by Masana. Teskey, played by Moni Hori. Chuck hits it over. Rodriguez finds the empty spot on the back row and wraps it up. A dominant 5th set victory for St. Francis. 15-5 is the final score. And after the first 4 sets were neck and neck, all 4 of them came down to the wire. The 5th one was never in doubt. All Saints, 15-5 the final score. They wrap up the regular season with a record of 18-13, 14-4 in conference play this year. Let's go over some of the final stats. Riley Hungate finished with a career high 19 kills, at least a St. Francis career high, 19 kills. Alyssa Teskey had a triple-double, 13 kills, 22 assists, 14 digs for the Fighting Saints. Saints got 28 assists from Talia Masana, 18 digs from Ann Simon. Cadence Woodrich chipped in with 3 blocks, 9 total points tonight. All of that was led by Naomi Moni Hori, who had 19 kills, which sounds like a good number, but it actually snaps a streak. She had scored 20 or more kills in 3 consecutive contests coming into tonight. 16 kills for Chuck, who fell 1 short of her career high set just 1 match ago. She also had 12 errors, though. 54 assists for Skylar Dorsey, 23 digs for Brianna Lamy. Overall, Olivet had 60 kills, 57 for St. Francis. Saints ended up out-hitting the Tigers 155 to 124 as Olivet fell apart in that regard as the match went on over the final 1.5 sets. Blocks dominated by the Saints 10 to 2. Digs were 96 to 86 in favor of Olivet. The Saints had 12 aces to only 5 serving errors, 3 aces, 7 service errors for Olivet Nazarene. Again, our final scores 25-22, 27-25, 22-25, 23-25, and then 15-5. The Saints capture the closer in a 5-set victory. They improved to 18-13 overall, 14-4 in conference play. Olivet falls to dead even, 9-9 in conference matches, 11-21 overall. That'll do it for today's broadcast of St. Francis Volleyball. Make sure to stick around to GoFightingSaints.com to get all your updates on postseason play for the University of St. Francis Fighting Saints volleyball team as they take care of Olivet tonight in 5 sets. Until next time, Terry Bonadonna signing off from the University of St. Francis in Joliet, Illinois. Good night, all.